What's up? What's up? And annyeonghaseyo to all my K-pop peeps out there. My name is Denise, and welcome back to yet another episode of my podcast called That K-Pop Talk, where every week I give you the latest and greatest in news and reviews of Korean popular music. Very important. Please click like, share, and subscribe to my podcast channel. And if you would love to support that K-pop family, please go to my description box and click on the link. Okay, don't go anywhere because K-pop news is starting now and it's going to be a jam-packed one. Don't go anywhere. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to that K-pop talk. Let's get started because look, K-pop news is off the chain today. We talking about EXO, we talking about SM. SM just stays in the news, don't they? Okay, anyways, water under the bridge with them. Let's get into it. So, as you guys know, on June 1st, or you may not know, June 1st, headlines were made from EXO when three of their members, known as the subunit called CBX, which is Xiumin, Baekhyun, and Chen. And Xiumin is Xiumin, but it's really pronounced Xiumin. Okay, so they ended their contracts with SM Entertainment. Allegedly, they said they were given slave contracts, right? Okay, something else they also said. We talking about money. You know, you can't mess with folks' money. They said they need their money. They said SM didn't pay them their money, allegedly. Now, a lot of times when people talk about their money, they'll approach you first nicely, ask you for your money. And if you don't, your management don't give it to you, you're going to go to, the court of law and try to get your money. So seeing that they were in a long-standing contract with SM, they should have gotten their money. And they asked, hey, we need, reports. We need records of what we should have made. Now, this is where it gets sort of complicated, okay? So hopefully you can follow me. So their attorney, and CBX did get an attorney, which is, again, Xiumin, Baekhyun, and Chen, the three members. Their attorney is Lee J. Hawk of the law firm called Lin, L-I-N. He said that they have requested on March 21st, 2023, and I'm looking at the records and notes that I have to make sure I'm giving you the right information. Allegedly, they requested documents from SM on March 21st, 2023, and that they asked for statements from March, April, and May. And so far, they have not returned, allegedly, they have not returned the request for those documents. Now, here's where it gets sort of tricky. So there is a statement in their contract that says they have the right to, and this legal term, it's called they have the right to peruse the contract. Now, we know of the word pursue, but this word is called peruse. It's Peruse. And I kept seeing that term, and I was like, what is peruse? Peruse means if you are given a contract and you sign said contract, they will not give you a copy. Peruse means you can look at it, you can digest it. It does not leave the presence of the one who holds it. So in other words, when EXO signed this contract, they were not allowed to have a copy of said contract from SM. They could only look at it. But here's where the lawyer says they're wrong. The lawyer says also in said contract, it states that you have the right to void or disagree or not do anything in that contract, that you can get out of it 30 days after you read said contract. So my question is, if you have the right, it says right here, you have the right, after 30 days of reading said contract, you have the right to object to it. And it says, SM states that they can peruse the records at any time, just not have a copy for any reason. So here's the question. If you have the right to object And see, you gotta listen to the words. You have the right to object. Doesn't mean you're gonna get your way. It just means you have the right to object. So say for instance, if I take an apple from you, right? You have the right to object for me taking your apple, but that doesn't mean I have the right to give the apple back to you. Does that make any sense? So my daughter's saying yes. You guys know my daughter's my production person, so she's over in the background. But I think that right now, if it's true of what they're saying about them getting slave contracts from SM, and I'm going to explain about that. So let me tell you about that real quick. So the slave contract that they're talking about, that their attorney, Lee Jae-hak, was referring to, the slave contract was said that the contract is allegedly made up in a way that if you do not do a certain amount of albums in a certain amount of time, they have the right to extend your contract until said album is done, and you don't get any more money for it. So it is said that they purposely hold back some projects so that when the end of your term, a year from the end of your term, you still have this lingering project or two, and then it extends out until those projects are done, and you get paid no more than you would have in the initial time period of the contract. Thus, some of these contracts are 12, 13 years old, and then with that time period, it makes them 17, 18 years old, and they want out. Now, this isn't the first time that EXO has gotten into a legal standpoint battle with SM. As some of you guys can recall, now, again, I'm going to tell you this. All I knew was BTS in 2020. Y'all hear me say this in every podcast. I didn't know anything else, but doing this podcast, I'm starting to learn about the history of K-pop. Okay, so I did some research. Back in 2014, see, EXO started off with 9 members. So hear me out on this. There were 3 former members, because right now EXO only has 6 members. It used to be 9. So this is what happened to the 3 former members who took them to court. So there were 3 former members back in 2014 and 2015 who took SM Entertainment to court out of EXO. Those members were Chris Wu, known as Chris, and then Luhan, and then Huang Zi Tao. And Chris Wu took him to court in 2014. He filed the complaint. And then Luhan later on 2014 filed the complaint. And then 2015, Wang Zi Tao filed the complaint. Now, this is what happened. So Luhan and Wu had cited unfair contracts. Their health was neglected. And then they also said that SM discriminated against the Chinese members because there were multiple Chinese members. Now, they also had allegedly stated that the contracts were some of the longest in the K-pop industry. Now, whatever had become of these contracts in the legal battle? Well, the results were in 2016, for whatever reasons, Wu and Luhan were forced to settle their lawsuits, and they did not return to EXO. So they legally got out of it, but not out of the contract. The contract still stood. However, they weren't legally obligated to perform with the members of EXO, and the contract stood as is until 2022. Now, they were, however, allowed to participate under other labels in Japan or China. So it was sort of like a settlement. It sounds like to me it was like a settlement. You can't perform in South Korea, but until your contract runs out in 2022, you can go to Japan and you can go to China and you can perform in some labels over there. Now, your boy Tao, however, had a different outcome. So in 2016, and he went for 3 things: contract, discrimination, and compensation. Now, in 2016, he actually lost against SM for the compensation part. And it wasn't because he did anything wrong. Well, in a way, I guess you could say he did. He took out an advance. And this is the number one mistake that a lot of people back in the day did as artists. When you take out an advance, you have to pay that advance back. But I think it was his legal knowledge of him being young and he didn't know how the music industry actually was, that he didn't understand that because of the advance he took, SM was within their rights to take that compensation back. So therefore, he was not owed any additional funds. Now, he may have lost that one, but he did not lose the next two battles that were to come. So later in 2016, Tao actually won a lawsuit court battle in China, but he lost in 2017 to nullify his contract, because the contract, like Wu and Luhan, the contract still stood, but he did not have to participate in EXO's activities. It was the same thing. So the contract still stood. He was not able to participate in South Korea, but he was still able to participate in China and also in Japan. And he also won a second case in 2018 on the discrimination. So that was a win-win for him. So he won two, he lost two. However, if you really look at it, he got what he wanted. He got the justification that there was discrimination, and he got the justification that there was some unfair practices going on. Now, what has become of Tao? He's back in China, and he opened up his own studio called the Z Tao Studio. So congratulations to him. I'm saying this as to say this isn't the first time that EXO has had this history with SM. There is friction between the company and the members. There have been for quite some time. Now, we're asking, and I ask, how are the other members coping? Well, Xiumin with EXO put out a statement, and he said, "Fighting, let's go. There's going to be a lot of unexpected things. Let's have a great thing. Let's have a great day." Sorry. I am very interested into how this is going to play out, because if this alleged allegation of how SM is treating EXO is true, I'm wondering if they're doing it to other members, because according to Lee J-Hop, he's thinking that if EXO has been treated like this, he even said it also states that other SM artists may also receive proper, may not have received proper statements. So I've never heard of, and my daughter's in the industry, like I said, I've never heard of you signing a contract with your manager or your agent and you're not, well, at least in America, you are entitled to have a copy of it. Maybe in South Korea things are different. I don't know. But what I do know is, and according to this attorney, he is saying that the artists have a right to take said contracts and have it evaluated by a legal professional. And that's what they want. They want their contracts. They want their paperwork. They need that evaluated by a legal representative so that they can make sure they're getting their fair treatment. Now, remember a couple of podcasts ago, I had talked about a bill named after a K-pop artist, and said bill was to protect these artists from things like this, so that your contract cannot go longer than, I think, 7 years. You can't be treated unfairly as far as how you look, your appearance. They can't make you unhealthy in any way, shape, or form, mentally or physically, and they cannot stop you from going to school. According to this, some of those things are occurring. So I wish nothing but the best of luck to the members of EXO, it is a very disheartening thing to find out. I know they've been going back and forth. SM is saying that it's because of them being poached by another company, and thus there may be a double contract where they're signed with them and then, they're signing with SM at the same time. The 3 members from EXO has said that is not correct. There is no other company, and they're saying this to deflect from them actually, being responsible for how they're treating them. So it's a back and forth issue. I hope they get it resolved, because at the end of the day, EXO is, one of those groups that I was really looking forward to their comeback. You remember when Kai, that's another thing. You remember when Kai had abruptly had to go into the military? They were working on their comeback album then. So I'm wondering, were they at odds then? And you remember I kept asking, how is it that he had to go into the military? Because wasn't it a known fact that now, because of BTS, that they had until 30 to go in? I'm still confused, because you have 5 times that you can delay going in until you're 30. And they said 2 of those are for miscellaneous. But the other 3, because they are K-pop idols, that should have been utilized. So what happened? I don't know. It's a mystery, you guys. I think, in my opinion, and what do I know? I may be wrong. But in my opinion, I think EXO's relationship with SM has been on rocky ground this whole time. That's what I think, because I'm looking at the history here. So, EXO, I hope you get it together. SM, I hope you get it together with this. I hope you guys come up with some amicable resolution, and that it will work out for everybody. Okay, moving on from that. But I can't believe what I read, in today's day and time. We shouldn't be talking about this. We should be talking about good music, you guys. Okay, so in other news, let's talk about Aespa. We're going to talk about Aespa Karina, the member of Aespa. Her, as you guys know, let me give you a backup story on this. As you guys know, Aespa's 4 members, which consist of Karina, Winter, Giselle, and Ning Ning, they recently ended up getting their own Instagram accounts. Well, Karina's Instagram account had the most. She had 3.5 million followers, followed by Winter's 3.1, Giselle 3 million, and Ning Ning 2.9 million. Do you know none of those members, any of those members, you would have thought would have had a blue check by now? None of them have a blue check. Not only that, Karina, this is who we're talking about, her Instagram account got deleted. It got blocked, and then it got deleted. And Karina was like, she was on, I think she was on Weverse? I forgot. I think she may have been on Weverse. She was on Bubble. She was on Bubble, and she was like, what is going on? She said, I don't understand why my account got blocked. I was liking some other people's accounts, and then she went somewhere else. She came back in to sign in, and she said it was blocked, and then the next thing she knew, it was wiped out. That is crazy. Like, what? Who? The only way I know Instagram could have blocked her account is if someone reported her. And they probably reported her for something stupid, if you ask me. I've had my YouTube blocked for no reason. My YouTube was gone. As a matter of fact, not only was my YouTube gone, my whole profile was gone. And I had to fuss and fight with YouTube to get my account back, because I didn't know what happened. So you guys just know there's some crazy people out there that would do anything to get you blocked, get you deleted. You just keep doing you. So Karina, I applaud you that you got your Instagram account back. And thank you, Instagram, for bringing her account back. And thank you, YouTube, for bringing my account back as well. Okay, moving on from that. Speaking of companies, let's talk about Hybe and Scooter Braun. I want this to be etched in your mind because we don't know where this is going. I am talking about Scooter Braun selling $14.15 million in Hybe stock. Why is this important, you say? Because Scooter Braun, I don't know if you guys remember, let me refresh your memory a little bit. Scooter Braun is CEO of Hybe America. He struck a deal with Hitman Bong, who is chairman of Hybe. Here, not here, but in South Korea. I'm a little bit leery of this transaction. I don't know where this is going, but I thought it was important enough that I let you know about it. Because if something ever happens, you're going to remember this day that the black lady in Los Angeles, California that runs a K-pop podcast told you that something ain't right. Something's not right. Scooter Braun, what you doing? What you doing? Because I don't know. Why would they make a big deal of you selling $14.15 million in stock? In case you guys want to know, that's 68,500 shares of Hybe stock. That's a lot, you guys. That is 18.495 billion Korean won. That's $211 a share, which equates to 277,000 Korean won per share. He sold these shares on June 2nd. That was this week. Why would you why would you sell that many shares? So now Scooter Braun's stake has gone from 1.08% to 0.87%. This comes on the heels of May 31st statement that says, the same article on May 31st that the Financial Supervisory Service Capital Markets Special Judicial Police, that is a long word, they announced that they forwarded 3 individuals, including a team leader from Hybe, to the prosecutor on suspicions of violating the Capital Markets Act. What am I talking about? That was a lot of words. I'm talking about, do you remember way back in, let's back this up, way back when SM and Hybe was getting into it because SM, underhandedly sold their shares to Kakao, and they violated certain trading acts within the stock market. It's sort of similar to that, except it's called insider trading. When you know something's going to detrimentally affect the stock market and you make moves within the company that's going to be affected, that's insider trading. You're not supposed to do that. So if, say for instance, if I had shares in Hybe, and this came on the point of BTS is announcing their Festa that they were going to do individual projects because they knew that they were going to start going into the military. 3 members that they're referring to the prosecutor's office, they're saying that these 3 members knew that the stocks may drop because they knew that BTS was going to announce their hiatus for a while, right? So then they pull their shares out and they sell them, knowing that the value of those shares were going to go down for a little bit. Now, the irony is Hybe is doing the best it ever has been. Despite of what happened a year ago, they rebounded tremendously with these individual projects. So evidently these 3 who pulled out must not have had faith that the individual projects from BTS were going to be successful. Well, surprise, surprise, they were. They were record-breaking successful. So shame on you for selling those shares, because I would have kept them in Hybe. Okay, let me get off my soap opera box on that. But I just thought that was very interesting that they would talk about Scooter Braun in the same sentence as the three people are going to the recommendation to go to the prosecutor. Now, Scooter Braun may be innocent. He may not even be one of these three people. And he may innocently just sold his shares overnight, after hours. That's what they said, it was after hours. But why mention Scooter? A lot of people sell and buy shares of Hybe stock. I mean, the stock market fluctuates all the time. People are buying and selling shares all the time. So why did you just mention Scooter Braun? Out of everybody at Hybe, why did he make the front page in all K-pop? Why? To be continued, you guys. But I want it on record that we talked about Scooter Braun and Hybe stock shares today, and that he sold them. So, Scooter, I hope you are on the up and up, because I'm rooting for you. As we say, we're fighting. Moving on, speaking of revenues, let's talk about K-pop gross revenue and how it contributed to South Korea's economy and the K-pop industry in general. Okay, so for the tours of last year, 2022, did you know that Korea grossed almost $500 million in sales of tours? Okay, let's break down the numbers. As you guys know, BTS did not tour, so they're not in the bracket. Blackpink had the largest share, of course. They were the top grossing, as a matter of fact, they were the top grossing female act, really, of all time. They finally surpassed Fifth Harmony and the Spice Girls, becoming the leading female touring group in history. They have amassed over 163, almost $164 million in sales last year. Stray Kids, they brought in almost 63 million. 17 brought in almost 59 million. Treasure, a little bit over 25 million. Twice, just shy of 34 million. TXT, now for TXT, I just want you to know we're not counting this new tour. So this tour they're on right now, do not count that one. We're going off of the tour from last year, because this year is going to be a lot more. Last year they brought in 14 million, but let me tell you, this year is going to be a lot more than that, because last year they were only marketing them to certain stadiums, but now they're selling everywhere. Like, they just left LA last week, and I know for a fact they sold out all nights. So expect big numbers from them this year. Okay, so they have 14 million. Enhypen really surprised me. They had almost 27 million. And ATEEZ had a little bit over 18 million. So if you add this up, it comes out to a little bit over $400 million. And that is just from the tours. You guys, K-pop is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And just think, they make a little dent in the whole dreamscape of things, so to speak. Landscape, not dreamscape, landscape of things. That's how big the music industry is, you guys. But hats off to all these K-pop people that are making a dent. And just imagine, what if BTS would have been included in this? They probably would have been like $250 million in, because BTS hands down would have made close to 200 million. If Blackpink brought in 163 million, you know BTS would have made more than that, and that would have taken the K-pop industry close to $1 billion in sales. So that's the contribution that our K-pop idols make to this industry. So Hats off to them. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about some milestones, shall we? Okay, so, and you guys, I do apologize. I'm a little bit under the weather. My asthma is really getting to me, and the allergies are really getting to me. So my nose is so stuffed up right now. It feels like I am talking through my nose, but that's why. I'm not sick. I'm not contagious. I mean, you can't be around me anyways right now because I'm on the other side of a camera lens and on the side of a microphone, but just want to let you guys know. Okay, back to the news. Smoke Sprite, 20 million views on YouTube. And if you guys don't remember Smoke Sprite, that was the collab that RM from BTS made with YoOn. So congratulations on that. And let's talk about Stray Kids. I'm going to get to them on K-releases when we talk about music videos that have been released. But child, let me tell you, they have set a record in pre-sales. Now, I thought that when 17 set the record and they beat BTS, that they had set the standard, right? Well, Stray Kids just beat their record. They had a whopping 5.13 million records of pre-sales, and they are regarded the most pre-sales in South Korean history. So congratulations to Stray Kids. As we know, their 5-star album has just been released and is kicking butt, taking names. It is now also called the 3rd highest selling album behind BTS's Map of the Soul 7 and 17's FML albums. Okay, moving on from that, New Jeans. New Jeans, y'all know I love me some New Jeans. They have had all these collabs, and I'm just like, it just keeps going on and on and on. They have a new commercial with McDonald's, and I love it. It's a little chicken nugget commercial. They look so cute. And then they have this commercial, which has been actually a music video. Now, you guys know that New Jeans had a commercial for, or a music video for the Zero Coke drink, right? And that video did very, very well. Well, now they have a collab with a song called Be Who You Are for Coca-Cola, and it's collabing with artist Grammy winning artist John Baptiste, who's an American singer, and he got New Jeans and these other artists called Camilo, Cat Burns, JID, and the song is so cute, so catchy, so popular, has an island feel to it. But I am proud of New Jeans that they were put in the mix to represent K-pop and to do the song as well. So congratulations. Okay, SHINee is making a comeback, you guys. Yes, they are. They have the 8th mini album called Hard. And why am I excited about this? Because it comes out on my birthday. Yes, my birthday is June 26th, and I have a lot to celebrate. You guys know, in the next segment will be BTS news. You guys already know this month is their 10th anniversary, so we're going to get into that. So I am uber excited about my birthday this month, you guys. But anyway, SHINee's comeback, their 8th mini album, Hard, is on June 26th. I can't wait for that because SHINee is one of these groups that their harmony is so perfect. So perfect. I love it. Them and EXO could do no wrong in the harmony department. And congratulations to NCT's Lee Jino. He is Ferragamo's first male ambassador. So I'm so happy for him. So that is it for K-pop news. You guys, we got through some stuff. We talked about a little bit of controversy, but you know what? It's going to be all right for everybody. Okay, coming up is BTS news. You guys know I have to talk about my Bangtan boys. I'm so excited for them. It's their anniversary month. It's my birthday month. So let's talk about it in this next segment coming up. BTS news is coming up next. Welcome back to that K-pop talk. It is time for BTS news, Bangtan boys. celebrating their 10th anniversary, and I'm so excited. The month of June means so many things to me, not only about BTS, but also I have a birthday this month. And then my son has a birthday this month. He was born on Father's Day, so go figure on that part. And then just everything. Like, I am going to celebrate my birthday month with BTS. How awesome is that? I'm just so excited. Okay, so this year, like I said, it's the 10th anniversary. BTS's theme is called BTS Presents Everywhere. Now, they released a statement saying that it's a twofold meaning. So it can mean BTS presents or BTS presents are everywhere. And it could also mean BTS are present everywhere. So it means different things to different people. And it's going to be in YoOn, Seoul, YoOn part of Seoul. That's going to be the official place where it's going to be celebrated. So if you're going to YoOn, Seoul, part of South Korea, and you're celebrating, right? Please post about it and tag and just put it out there so the world can see, because we all wish we were there in YoOn, right? I know I do. Okay, anyways, so the festivities on the Festa has just been released. Like, I know some of them have been released. I was getting ready to film at this time, so I couldn't go back and look at it because I'm filming now. So next week, I will relay some more information, but I'm pretty sure you guys will already have that information already, researched, and you already know what was going down with the Festa, but I'm excited. So there's that. So I just want to let you guys know that don't think I'm crazy. Don't think that, I'm like overly hyper or overly aware. No, it's not that. It's just that I'm excited that it is BTS's 10th anniversary. I always go back and think about when I first discovered BTS back in 2020. It was during COVID, and Black Swan was my very first song I heard from them. And it was a wrap from there. Like, I was all BTS. Like, no other genre of music existed after I saw BTS. Like, trust me. I was one black lady in Los Angeles, California, going crazy over some BTS. And here I am 3 years later, and I still love BTS. They're like sons to me, and the adopted sons that, in my head that I carry around with me wherever I go. So I always tell people I have 8 kids, 8 sons and 1 daughter. My biological son, my biological daughter, and then I have 7 sons adopted through music, and that's BTS. Okay, so that's what's going on. So stay tuned, because there's more to come with BTS. And we're gonna start right off with the leader, RM, and a leader he is. He just got appointed to, this is long, Ambassador for the Ministry of National Defense's Agency for the Recovery and Identification for Those Killed in Action. Couldn't have gone to a better person. This is a very prestigious appointment from the military as well as from the government. RM has always been a leader. I mean, someone even said, I read some of the comments, someone said that he should just be president one day. And he could actually become president one day. He possesses those qualities, right? RM, is the leader of BTS. He is the speaker when they went to the White House. He was the speaker when they went to the UN. And the speech he gave when they appointed him the ambassador for this position was so eloquently said. Like, he really embodied the passion behind him becoming ambassador. When he was saying how he wanted to be a voice for the people, and the people meaning South Korea and the culture, he wants to be a liaison. He wants to be used for that purpose. That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's being used for at this moment. Every time he talks about South Korea, you see that passion within RM. So I think they couldn't have asked for a better person to do this ambassadorship for the military on this particular subject, and to, you know, be the face of these deceased members that served in the military for South Korea, and be able to participate in bringing their remains back to South Korea. That's an honor. So RM, my hat goes off to you. I applaud you for everything that you're doing for your country. So hats off. Okay, so let's talk about, we're moving on now. Let's talk about Jen. Speaking of military, right? Jen is a guest on Citrata. That's Sugar Show. How in the world he do that? No, I'm just playing. We all know how he did it. He filmed this episode before he went into the military. And as we all know, Jen likes to drink. Okay, he likes to drink. And Jen, before he went and made these vlogs about him making rice wine from a rice wine maker. So that's what he was doing. And I believe he may have brought one of the bottles on the show. So I'm definitely going to watch episode 12. You guys already know. I'm going to put the link in the description box on my YouTube. Okay. So speaking of that, let's talk about Sugar. Sugar should, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know Sugar like that. But Sugar should be at home resting his soul, because he just wrapped up Bangkok's tour. Not Bangkok. He just wrapped up Jakarta's tour, that leg last week. And now he's headed for Bangkok on June 10th. And so in between time, I imagine that he's probably resting up right now. He also may be watching the NBA playoffs if it's still going on. I know one part of the NBA playoffs had wrapped, and if they are continuing the second or the next leg of the NBA playoffs, I'm pretty sure he's watching, because he's an NBA ambassador. So there's that. And then the last piece of news on Sugar is that he did do a collab with Halsey again. You know, Halsey has done collabs with BTS before, but he did a collab with Halsey for a song called Lilith. And that song will be released on June 5th. And it's for the the video game called Diablo 4. And people were asking me, well, what is an OST? And I'm like, it just means original soundtrack. Because a lot of people, I don't know why they think that's a K-pop terminology or a K-pop acronym. It's not. It just means original soundtrack. It's just that people in the K-pop world use OST more than we do here in America. So that's what that is. Okay, moving on. Talk about J-Hope. J-Hope has completed his military training, and he is hoping to follow in Jen's footsteps. He is supposed to be appointed as a drill sergeant assistant. So congratulations ahead of time to J-Hope. I hope you do get that appointment, and then you and Jen can be drill sergeant assistants together, even though they're going to be stationed at different places. Just want to point that out. Okay. Oh, I just forgot to tell you guys. I tell you, you need to get that Weverse, because when he finished basic training, when J-Hope finished, he got on Weverse. That's where he went. He didn't go to Instagram. He got on Weverse. I'm telling y'all. Y'all get that Weverse. Okay. Moving on. Basically, Jimin, V, and JK, those three, they just been chilling. There's really nothing that they're doing that, you know, is making headline news. They just, you know, keeping a low profile. Jimin did go to London and he saw a Harry Potter exhibit. I think there's like something similar to Universal here in America, where there is a Harry Potter theme park. I know that from the pictures that Jimin has, it looks like he went to something like that in London. And V, he released a Celine photo dump, as I call it, the photo dump of him wearing Celine outfits. And then, and he also changed his hair to ash blonde, which I really like. I think, you know, it looks good on him. And then JK, you know, he's just on Weverse doing what he do. Singing, karaoke, and cooking. That's all he been doing. And breaking records. Like, every time you turn around, they are breaking records. It's so amazing to me. And speaking of records, did you know that BTS is the only group behind the Supremes and the Beatles in the history of music that has #1 hits, and then an offspring of that group also produced #1 hits. So when Jimin, with his Like Crazy album, became #1, they entered that category. But it's crazy. It's crazy how that happened. But all 6 of them hit #1 on singles. All 6 of them entered #1 on the emerging artist chart on Billboard. All of them so far has hit #1 that has come out with their album or mini album. Isn't that crazy? Okay, well, that wraps up BTS news. Don't go anywhere, because the last segment is coming up where I will go over all the music videos that have been released within the last week or two. Don't go anywhere, because K releases is coming up next. Welcome back to my very last segment. I can't believe I made it this whole way without me choking, because I'm telling y'all, I feel like a balloon is inside my head right now, and my throat has really been dry. So my breathing has really been labored. So thank you guys for stringing along with me on this podcast. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about the music video releases of this past week or two. So I have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6, but I'm also going to do 3 that are from BTS, because like I said, this whole month is about the 10th anniversary celebration. So I'm going down memory lane of what my favorite music videos from BTS were at that time when I was in COVID and I first discovered them. But first, let's get into the other music videos, right? Okay, so #1 is S-Class by Stray Kids. I cannot say enough for Stray Kids. Like, they're one of these new groups. Well, they're not new, but they're one of the groups that came out right around the time BTS did, that I feel that a lot of people just did not know about in America, like they did overseas in South Korea and Japan, and you know, all the other countries over there on the Eastern Hemisphere. And we are in love with them now here in America. Like, Stray Kids can do no wrong in my book. I love their new song called S-Class. S-Class is part of their 5-star album that was just released, that they set a record to. And I love it. I love everything about it. I love the choreography, the cadence, the sound is their typical not S-Class, it's their typical Stray Kids sound. And you guys, again, the video will be in the link in my description box and my YouTube. Okay, next one is New Jeans. Remember I was talking about the song they did with Coca-Cola, and they collabed with Grammy artist winner John Baptiste and some other artists on that song as well, called Be Who You Are. It's a very island Caribbean type feel song, but it has a positive message. I love the fact that they're representing K-pop. So that's why I particularly love this song. So I'm putting that in the link as well. Putting their link in my YouTube description box as well. This is the one I'm really excited about. It didn't get a lot of publicity or a lot of press. And I'm talking about Colde, Colde. He is a Korean artist that is known for his neo-soul, neo-jazz type, R&B type vibe that he has going on. He puts me in the mind of So YoOn when he did Smoke Sprite, but his is more R&B, more soul, more jazzy than So YoOn's is more rock, you know, more edgy guitar type tones in it. His is more of a vibe, like you will walk into a jazz club type vibe, more calming, you know. And In this song, it's called Don't Say You Love Me. It's number 2 off of his album, his new album called Love Part 2. I love the artistic value in this music video. It's simple but impactful. Him and YoOn, what they have in common is the artistic expression behind their music. It's like walking into a museum and you hear music with it. That's how their music videos are. And I think that's what attracted RM to them, because of that artistic quality. And in this music video, you have Colde and you have RM at separate opposite ends. And there's just a circle in the ground and it has water in it. And then you see these visual effects above them. And it's a very muted, a dark overtone, but it's muted. It's so artistically beautiful and dark, but beautiful. Not dark as a satanic way or anything like that. No, I'm talking about the tone of art. And it's so beautiful to see. You guys need to see it. If you're into art, you're into museums, you're into, you know, that type of expression, then I highly suggest you watch this video. Okay, moving on. Boyz Next Door. Now, you guys know this is Zico's new group. I think it's his first K-pop group he released under his record label KOZ Entertainment. And that KOZ Entertainment is under Hybe. So welcome to the family, Hybe family. And I'm not saying I'm part of Hybe. I'm just saying, you know, I'm telling him welcome to their family. They actually released 2 songs. The first one was One and Only. It had a very fun beat. And I'm pretty sure Zico had a lot to do with that beat. A very fun beat. I really did like that first video. Very unique. They're in a mall. I wonder if they filmed it in America, because the mall situation and the people that were in it, they looked like they were American. So, Zico, did you film this music video in America? And then he released another one after that called Serenade. So I think these boys have a very bright future. It's a different sound, but I appreciate it, and I know they will do very well in the industry. Okay, the next music video is called The Boyz, and the name of their music video is called Delicious, and it has a very Caribbean feel to their song as well. It's a fusion between the normal K-pop sound aesthetic and Caribbean. So I think the Caribbean feel comes into the chorus part of it. Actually, reverse that. The verse part. The chorus part then goes back to the regular K-pop sound, the regular K-pop cadence. But the verses has that Caribbean feel to it. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is CIX. You guys, this to me is what I call a find. And what I mean by that is I did not know about this group until I had come across this music video. And the tone of this music video was sort of like BTS to me. Like, it was about suicide, it was about death, it was about losing a loved one, and they bore all their feelings. They put all their feelings on the table on this song. It wasn't anything cute about this video. It was like real life emotional feelings. And that's what I meant, that it paralleled BTS in that way. And I really appreciate this video. It's very impactful. And I see why it has a lot of views. And this group is pretty talented. I was surprised. I looked at their dance value. I looked at their aesthetics. I looked at their just personality in general when they perform. And they are a group to watch me. I know they've been out for a couple years now, but I really feel that this group is undervalued. I really believe that they need more press time as well. Like, they need to, K-pop community need to give them more props than they've gotten. So Their name of their new music video is called Save Me, Kill Me, and it's by CIX. 5 members, and they are just phenomenal in my eyes. Okay, those are the 6 songs. Actually 7 if you want to count 2 by the Boys Next Door, Boy Next Door. The 3 songs I want to talk to you guys about by BTS have sentimental meaning to me. The first one I'm going to list is going to be Black Swan. Like I said, that was the first music video that I ever seen when I was scrolling through my YouTube back in 2020. And I saw Xiumin. He's the one that really stood out at that time because I could tell he had ballet. I knew he had ballet training. Seeing that my daughter, you know, is a professional ballerina, I know that he had ballet training. And I showed my daughter, I said, look at him. I said, do you think he had ballet training? And when I researched him, I found out that he did. Went down a rabbit hole from there because I'm trying to figure out how all these boys knew how to dance at the level that they danced. They knew not just hip hop, they knew how to dance in a technical way, which was so amazing to me. And the sound that came out their mouths was like heaven on earth. And then they were handsome. You put all that together, that's a perfect combination. And they were humble the more I researched them. So the first one is going to be Black Swan. The second video just so happened to be Make It Right. Like it just came up. Make It Right. And then Fake Love. Those were the first 3 videos that I saw. And from there, I knew that they were something special. And I didn't know how special they were. I just knew that I was listening to a form I didn't know was called Kpop at the time. I just knew that these boys were doing something that I hadn't seen before. So I'm going to add these 3 songs onto my list of K-vibes. And the other 2 will be CIX Save Me, because like I said, they have that vulnerability along with what BTS has. And to me, a good group has to have vulnerability in their music. And I think, like I said, CIX is underrated, but I love the song. Save Me, Kill Me. I love it. So that one. And also I love the song by Stray Kids, X-Class. It's Stray Kids. That's all I gotta say. It's Stray Kids. You could do no wrong with them. I love them. So those are my 5 K-vibes of the week. Black Swan, Make It Right, and Fake Love by BTS for old time's sake. And then Stray Kids, S-Class, and also CIX Save Me, Kill Me. Well, there you have it, you guys. I made it through this episode. Stuffy head, stuffy nose, and all from allergies. You guys, I am so happy that this is now over so I can get some rest. But at any rate, if you can click like, share, and subscribe to my podcast channel, I would greatly appreciate it. The show must go on. Every week I'm here for you. Sick or not, I am here for you guys. And thank you for joining in yet again to another podcast. Once again, my name is Denise, and you know what we do here. It's all about that K-pop talk. So I will see you next week. Bye.